Hello, welcome back to Burying the Sausage, a podcast for the overwhelmed newlyweds with me, Flamingo Amy.
And me, Glam by Cam.
Welcome back, Cam. I feel like it's been a million years since we've spoken to each other. It is just so busy right now, right?
Tell me about it, Amy. Oh my God. I am literally in the trenches of wedding season at the minute. Oh, how's it going for you?
Yeah, it's really busy, but I feel like we're kind of insane for committing to record at this time of year. But, we are committed to bringing the people things they need to know.
Exactly. Somebody needs something to get through the summer, don't they? So it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So what have you been up to this week? What's happening in the wedding world with you?
Oh my God. I've been doing trials. I've been doing styled shoots. Have I had any weddings this week? Well, not this week so far. Tomorrow and Saturday. Today's a Thursday, so Friday and Saturday this week I've got two weddings. One at Hot Rod Hall tomorrow for the gorgeous Chloe, my beautiful bride, and her bridal party. And then on Saturday I have a wedding for Megan at the Host in Burnham Market. What about you?
Oh, that's gorgeous. I love going up to the North Coast. I'm actually going to be at the North Coast twice over the weekend, on Saturday and Sunday. I'm in Clyde both days for two different people at two different venues.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to stay over. It would be nice if I could stay over. But, Clyde is not the most affordable of places to stay.
Oh, no, exactly.
So... yeah, I won't be staying there, but I'm really excited. And I've also got a wedding on Monday. And this afternoon, I actually went to do her hair for her legal ceremony, which was happening today. And then her wedding celebration will happen at Pentney on Monday. So, I'm really excited to see her again on Monday. And it's super cool when you get to see people twice, for their legal and their actual celebration. So.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it's been super busy.
Oh my God, I love that. I love it when you do the legal ceremony and then the actual wedding. That just makes you feel so a part of it, doesn't it? Like when you get to see them twice.
Yeah.
It's really cute. I love it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think actually when I speak to a lot of my clients who do it that way, it takes the pressure off on the wedding day, the day where everyone is around. Yeah. So my client today was saying that, she feels kind of anxious about it. It is a stressful time, but she's like, oh, it's going to be so much, it's going to be so much more relaxing on Monday because the legal bit is done and we can just get on with celebrating. And I think that that's actually the perfect way around to do it. If you're somebody that's quite anxious.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So, yes, I'm very excited for her.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, so our main topic today is AI. We are going to talk about that in a bit. We wanted to talk about AI because it is controversial. It is a topic. It is a big topic, not just for weddings, but for everything right now.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be a really great topic to dive into. And I was I was really pleased with the title that we came up for the episode.
It was really good. I love it. I do.
I know. I think a fun title is very, very important for a podcast. Yeah. So we'll chat about that in a bit. But the first thing that I wanted to speak to you about, Cam, actually, before we go any further, let me backtrack once more. It seems like a long time ago now, but in the last episode, we briefly talked about the photo shoot that we were planning to do, but things went slightly awry.
Oh my God. What a day.
Do you want to let's chat about that? Do you want to tell people what should have happened and what actually happened?
Okay. So basically Amy and I we were planning our promo shoot for the pod, and we were going to have our really good friends, Shallow Tour Photography, shout out Shell, love her, and Liv and Ben, the videographers. Both are notoriously known in the wedding industry. They're so good at what they do. And unfortunately, both parties could not make it on the day, which was no fault of their own. So we're not dragging them at all. It is just one of those things. They weren't feeling very great. And me and Amy were just like, oh no, what have we got to do? The stars just didn't align
Yeah.
for it. However,
We will always truck on, Cam. There's something
yeah,
about good wedding suppliers, that we will truck on
yeah,
no matter the circumstances. We will find a
yeah.
way to get through whatever is going on, won't
Where
we?
there's a will, there's a way. And, I think we were just so dead set on it being on that day because our schedules are so jam packed at the minute. We're like, we need it to go out
Yeah.
like next week and we need it done. So you came over to me in Kings Lynn from Norwich and we just done it ourselves. Like, we just had
Yeah.
some, a couple of camera phones, some desperation and a dream, and we figured it out.
Yeah. We had a couple of phones, desperation, loads of Starbucks, and some capes.
We did. And some sausages.
And some sausages. Cam, honestly, hand on heart, I had so much fun that day.
Wasn't it the best day?
It was ridiculous. We don't have a lot of the content out at the moment, but just simply because we are really, really busy. But it will be released. We will be showing you the absolute stupidness that we got up to. We were prancing around Kings Lynn. Oh my God. We went into Sainsbury's and we bought an actual sausage. We buried an actual sausage. I got chased by the police, but not really. People will see what we mean by this when the content comes
Got chased
out.
off by a gardener.
We got some, and the gardeners got involved. Fair play to. Oh, this is a shout out to Kings Lynn Council gardeners.
Yes. It was just such a fun day.
It was like not too hot. It was really sunny.
Yeah.
We just went out and we just basically just thought of ideas as we were going along, and it just felt like fun. It just felt like playing.
Yeah. I just felt like a kid again, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, and that's what I wanted to do with this. That's what I wanted. So anyway, you will see some of those things soon if you haven't seen them already. And I recommend that everybody, just whatever their business, goes out and films something stupid because it's fun.
Yeah, honestly, you just got to think, you're only going to see those people once. You're never really going to see them again. I live in a small town, and I barely see any of the people that we saw. We were in our cloaks, filming in the field, and people were walking past us. One person was like, "What the f?" And you can't tell me that we were the strangest things you've ever seen in Kings Lynn. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. We got a couple of comments, but when I was at art school, I used to go out and do, honestly, there's no time to talk about this on the podcast, but I used to go out and do loads of really silly, stupid, performance piece projects, in the world, in Norwich, in London. I did loads of stuff. And people just didn't bat an eyelid, but I knew people in Kings Lynn would be like, what is going on? Yeah. So I'm wondering now what that gardener said when he went home to his family about what he was asked to do that day.
You just got to have no fear.
So I'll just quickly explain what that looked like, because I don't know whether or not the content will be out, but essentially we were going through these gorgeous gardens in Kings Lynn called the Walks. I've never been there before. It was looking absolutely stunning. Yeah. All the flowers were out, beautiful day. And we filmed a little bit of content by this beautiful
flower bed.
Flower bed. Oh, it was really lovely. I saw these gardeners and I said to Cam, wouldn't it be really funny if one of them chased me away from burying a sausage in the flower bed? And there was two of them. One of them looked like they had more of a sense of humour than the other.
Absolutely.
And so I said, let us talk to the one with the sense of humour. And the really funny thing about this is that Cam had what's it called? The trolley? Is it a trolley?
Yeah, like a festival trolley.
Yeah, like a festival trolley. And we had the cauldron in there. We had our capes in there. We had all of our, our Starbucks. We had all of our things. So we were pulling this thing along as well. And I went up to this guy and I said, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. The poor guy was sweating under the midday sun. And I said, I know this is a really weird thing. And I had to try to explain to this random gardener about burying a sausage. And I just thought, he's going to think we're absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So anyway, but he agreed,
Yeah.
didn't he? And he didn't really act like it was weird.
Oh, well. It probably brightened up his day.
Yeah, so I said to him, I'm going to pretend to bury a sausage. And I did have to emphasize to him, pretend. I was like, I'm not going to dig up your flower beds. I'm not going to dig it up. It's very beautiful. However, later on in the day, we did. Shh, don't tell anyone. Shh, shh, shh. And so I went to go and bury the sausage. And I said, can you shout at me like, stop, don't do that. So then I had to run across the field. So Cam has got loads of footage of me flailing around, running across the field.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
I can't. It's so funny. I can't wait to relive it.
I know. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, right.
Let's get onto the topic.
Let's get on to the first topic, which is something I wanted to talk about with you, Cam, before we talk about AI, because I think this is really, really important for anybody getting married who is listening to have an appreciation for and acknowledgement of a wedding morning timetable. And you're probably like, oh, Amy, wow, what an interesting thing to talk about today. Well, I'm going to tell you some stories, okay? And you know I love a story. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because what started it was I was on Instagram and a brilliant hairstylist who I follow, who's down in Essex, put something up on her stories. And it was basically a reminder that we have a timetable on the wedding morning. There's a reason we have a timetable and certain people are in certain slots. And she has recently had people just not turn up for their time slot and not be able to get their hair or makeup done.
God.
And I know, and isn't that makes my, like, I can feel my heart, you know, my heart rate going up just thinking about that, because it's so stressful for us. And it made me think, and I saw the story, Cam, and I was like, oh, that's so rude. I don't think that's ever happened to me. And then I had a thought and I was like, yes, this has happened to me twice. Has this happened to you?
Yeah, it has. Indeed.
Has it?
You know, but again, it's like, you know, it can be a few people's, like down to a few people, really. Like, you know, it can usually be like down to the bridesmaids. It can be down to other suppliers as well. You know, it depends. Like, you know, I've worked with other makeup artists who are, you know, have also been booked for the day, and they might not be as fast, or do you know what I mean? Like, you know, and sometimes that can leave you behind, and then the other person has to then take over to like fit them in, like just so everybody gets done on time. But yeah, it just happens, and it's, you know, and you need to make sure that you leave enough time.
It can happen. Yeah, absolutely, it can happen. So just to clarify what we're talking about for anybody listening, what we do is we create a timetable for our clients. We put the person getting married, you know, our main person, in a very specific time slot, not too early, not too late. And we work with the other person. So I'm a hairstylist, I work with the makeup artist and vice versa, to make sure that those slots aren't clashing. And then what the client would do would then be to put, let's say, Jane is having her hair done at 7, but then the bride or whoever's getting married needs to make sure that Jane is having her makeup done at maybe 8 or 9 or 10, or, you know, basically not in the same time slot. So it means that everybody knows when the hair is, when the makeup is, and it runs smoothly. You know, it runs lovely and smoothly. And when I saw this story, I'm not going to mention who the hairstylist was. I just thought, what did those people do, as in those bridesmaids, when they didn't have one hair or makeup done? And actually, I will ask this person at some point, like, what actually happened. But I've got a couple of stories about, you know, a couple of times this has happened. And this did actually happen to me. You're not even going to believe this. This happened to me. I'm not going to say when, because obviously I don't want to expose a particular client, but it happened to me. All I'm going to say is very, very recently, like very recently. And the person was coming from, the person was coming from near London. I'm just going to say that, near London.
That morning?
To be there.
Oh
Yeah,
wow, that's brave.
yeah. And and the other time this has happened to me, they were coming from the Midlands that morning.
Jeez, that's risky.
And I just think
Why not stay over the night before?
it's so
Yeah.
avoidable. This situation was so avoidable. So the person who missed their slot, I'm not going to say when, very recently,
Yeah.
when she turned up, she was really apologetic. She was like, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I understand I've missed my slot. If you get a chance to do the simplest thing later on, I'd appreciate it. But if you don't, I understand. I've messed up. I'm sorry. And I was like, thank you so much. I'll see how it goes. Thankfully, that morning, people's hair didn't take very long because they had less hair than I thought they were going to have. I always leave a bit more time than I need. And so actually, I did manage to do a hair and everything was fine. But that wouldn't normally be the case. So the first time it happened to me, which was actually a couple of years ago, within the last couple of years, Cam, you're not even going to believe this. This is crazy. I don't mind talking about this because I'm not going to, obviously, I'm very careful not to, expose anyone. But she basically was in the Midlands and she was the first person to be getting her hair done at like 6:30 a.m. At this venue. I was at a wedding venue.
Yeah.
So your person that's going to be getting their hair done at 6:30 a.m., they need to be on time because what happens if the first person is late? Everything else runs behind. It's the domino of chaos. And we were at the venue, really pretty wedding venue, and the bride was like freaking out. So basically, the bridesmaids' parents lived half an hour from the venue. And what she should have done is driven up the night before, stayed with her parents that are 30 minutes away, and turned up at before 6:30 for her hair.
Absolutely.
I don't know what she was on, but she decided, do you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave my house at 3 a.m. Yes. And so that I can arrive for 6:30 a.m. I'm just going to drive through the night. So, of course, what happens when you drive such a long distance? You're going to come up with roadworks, diversions, even at that time of night. You can't guarantee you're going to arrive on time, can you? Anyway, the bride, bless her, she was a very anxious person and she was absolutely freaking out the whole time. No. And I said, look, we'll do what we can. I said, but this person, they're going to need to understand that if I can literally brush their hair and put it in a bun, if that's all I've got time for, that's all I've got time for. They shouldn't have been late. So eventually, honestly, we got to about maybe 7:30-ish. By the way, her hair slot finished at 7:30. She sauntered in, no rushing, no apology to anyone, no apology to the bride, no apology to us, sauntered in. And then when I did manage to scrape together half an hour later on because I basically tried to make up the time. It was obviously quite stressful for me. She's like, got her phone out. Oh, this thing. I'm like, love, we don't have time. No. We don't have time. We've now got 24 minutes. Yeah. And this is what you're going to have. Again, she didn't apologise. I'm so sorry. None of that.
Yeah. Came through the hair.
Then she was like, yeah, exactly. And then she was like, can you change this bit? Can you change this bit? And now, obviously, I would never be rude to anyone, ever. But I was like, no.
I know exactly how you feel. I've had people do the exact same thing with makeup. And they turn up late and they've got like half an hour to 45 minutes in my chair. Whereas like I take 75 minutes per person. Yeah. And then they show me a picture of like a full glam. And then I'm like, hun, you barely got time for bronzer. Like, like you have not got time for a very intricate eye look. You just can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And I'm so strict with it. Because I'd rather, execute something that looks really, really good and simple rather than try and reach too far and it look awful, if that makes sense. In the time frame that we've got. So I'd rather it look simple and good rather than,
Yeah.
intricate and not good. So yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather do a simple, well executed hair up than, try to do something and it just looked like a disaster.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the story hasn't finished, Cam. There's a little bit more left to the story.
Go for it, sorry.
So she sat down. No, don't you worry. So she sat down in the makeup artist's chair. I work with this makeup artist really often. She is so calm. She's got the calmest, sweetest voice. I love working with her. She makes me feel calm. And she sat down in the makeup artist's chair. Again, no apologies. We had to try and find we had to move people around and maybe cut down on other people's time to try and accommodate her. She sat down in the chair and she started showing the makeup artist these photos. Now, I just want to set the scene. This wedding was extremely classic, extremely neutral, lots of neutrals, lots of whites, very quite traditional. And, so everyone had very neutral makeup, natural lip, all of that. She sat down in the chair, photo to the makeup artist, red lip.
No.
I am like, I'm sorry, Diva.
No.
I'm sorry, but so the makeup artist, she was so polite, and she said, "Oh my goodness," she was like, a red lip is great. I can see a red lip would really, really suit you. She said, but today there's a lot of neutrals and the bride is not having a strong lip. So I think today we are going to need to go for neutrals. These are the neutrals I've got. And she, she was so polite the way she talked it through. It was brilliant. But I was like, this person, I mean, either she was there to sabotage the wedding day or she had zero social skills.
Oh my God. How can you how can you do that? You can't have a red lip. I'm sorry. And if the bride or the rest of the bridal party aren't, like, no. Sorry.
No. And I'm a red lip girl. That's what I like. But if no one else was wearing a red lip, I absolutely would not be wearing a red lip.
Is such a statement. And sorry, but the bride is the statement piece of the day. You cannot be turning up and the brides and the bridesmaids and the maid of honors. They are there to compliment the bride, if that makes sense. They are to accompany the bride really well and make you kind of like their backup singers, aren't you, or backup dancers? You are there to make the bride look really, really nice and everything flows really nice. But sorry, there's only one Beyonce. And it is the bride in this case.
There is. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But anyway, I just wanted to chat about that. And I just wanted to say, choose your bridesmaids carefully, but also choose the most reliable people to go into those first time slots, because if those people aren't on time, it does makes the rest of the day a bit of a panic. Let us move on to the main topic of today. And that is talking about AI. It's something a lot of people are talking about at the moment, especially in the wedding world. And there's several things that we want to talk about today. One of them being the prevalence of people putting AI photos of hair and makeup on their mood boards, but also just a little bit about AI in general. I don't want this to be I don't want to go into technical details. And I was saying to Cam at the beginning of this episode, I don't want to get too bogged down with, the ethics, although I do want to touch on that. And I think it would be really irresponsible of us to not mention that before we begin. So, Cam, I'm going to start off with a question for you.
Go for it.
Are you ready?
Ready as I love a babe.
You don't know that I was going to ask you this.
I'm nervous.
This is a quiz question. Okay?
Oh my God.
The term artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
What year was it coined in?
Oh God. 1989 or something?
Further back?
Really? 1979?
No.
Even further?
Yeah.
1950?
Yeah, so nearly
Oh
1956,
my God.
artificial intelligence was coined. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But there was actually, I haven't written it down here. When I was doing some research, there was the first test to see if a computer could think independently done in about 1950.
Wow, that's
It
cool.
was called the Turing test. So Alan
Oh,
Turing.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was the coder, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he basically created this test where I haven't got this written down here, so no one on the internet write in, please. But basically, where he had three different people, he had the computer come up with an answer, and two people come up with an answer,
Yeah.
and then the judge had to judge which of those three answers had come from a human and which had come from a computer. And if he couldn't tell, then it was kind of deemed, and it wouldn't have been called artificial intelligence. They had another name for it. But yeah, so this started like 70 odd years ago.
Wow. I learned about Alan Turing. He was like the person who was he the one who got warned us about like the Nazis with coding and
I think
he was,
so.
yeah. And he was gay as well.
Yes, yeah. But anyway, I thought I'd talk about that because I was really surprised. And I think that, I mean, I'm really interested in history and facts, and I thought
Yeah.
you'd enjoy that.
Oh, me too. I love that.
So, just going to very briefly talk about why AI is bad for the environment. So, I think that it's very controversial when you speak to people about this. You speak to people that are like, don't use AI, don't use it at all, and they're very, very passionate about that.
Yes.
And some people, they're using ChatGPT 40 times a day and they're not worried about it. But I just wanted to very briefly talk about this. We're only going to spend a couple of minutes on it because I just think it would be really irresponsible not to mention it. We are going through all these heat waves at the moment. The environment is really important.
Absolutely.
And we're going through this really quite scary time at the moment. So I put into Google, which is probably using AI, ironically, why is AI bad for the environment? And it said AI is bad for the environment because it requires massive amounts of energy, water, and finite minerals. The primary drivers of this environmental toll are high energy consumption, intensive water usage, and resource mining. So, I mean, is there anything else you want to add to that, Cam?
I mean, we do kind of need to just crack down on it. Like, I used to be, I will say, pretty much addicted to ChatGPT. Like, I wouldn't even use about 30% of my brain. I know we don't, but I think it was replaced with ChatGPT at one point last year when it all became a thing. I would be Googling everything. ChatGPT and everything. I don't even use Google anymore.
Yeah.
And it's actually embarrassing the things that I would search on there, like how long should I cook an egg for? Like, really? But now I have got to the point where I rarely use it. But there are still people out there who have only just now cottoned onto the idea of what it was all about, and they're just using it way too much, and they're just not very aware of what it does to the environment. Like, I was telling people about this at work the other day when I had clients, and they weren't actually aware that how much water usage AI takes to actually function, and that there's are they big data centers, aren't they? And the computers overheat so much, so they have to use so much water to cool them down, and but the government don't really tell you that. We don't actually. It's not written all over the news or anything. It's very strange, and it's people just need to be careful of why they're using it for, and when people are using it
I think we need to be mindful.
Yeah, absolutely. Just need to be a little bit more mindful of stop. You don't need to be turning yourself into a what I would look like as a Bratz doll.
I am guilty. Okay, so I just want to also say this. When we are mentioning this and we're talking about the environment, I don't want to stand here like I'm preaching on a soapbox, because have I used AI? Do I occasionally use AI? Of course I do. And have I turned me and my husband into a Muppet using AI before? Yes, I have. I'm going to hold my hands up. We made very attractive Muppets.
Oh my God.
But now I feel a bit more enlightened and I'm a little bit more mindful of my usage. But I do believe anybody who wants to write in and tell me otherwise, please do. I believe that even when you're Googling something, that is now AI. That is now AI powered, isn't it? Because you'll get like a little thing that comes up at the top and says, AI summary. I think it says AI summary or something, doesn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google is now powered by AI.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to leave it at that. Up on my stories about the fact we were going to talk about AI, and for people to send in their thoughts and opinions on the matter and have they used it and what they use it for, have they used it for their wedding. And some people messaged me and they said, actually, we have used it to for our table plans. Like the table decorations. Have you seen that before, Cam?
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea of using it for that, like table plans. I don't know about the decorations though.
I think it's quite useful. So what they've done is I saw somebody messaged me. This was actually pretty cool. Again, I'm not casting moral judgment or whether or not AI should be used for this. I'm going to put that aside for now. But she basically took a picture of her table decorations on her table. She'd put the little layout, all the flowers round and the candles and because she was doing all that herself. She took a picture of it. And then I don't know what program she used, but she said, put this onto the wedding table, and you got like a picture of the venue with all of her design actually on the tables.
Oh, I love that.
That's quite cool, isn't it? Because I think one of people's big concerns, it is cool. I mean, people say to me, oh, I'm really nervous about how it's going to come together because I don't know what it looks like. So that's a way of, alleviating that worry, I suppose.
I mean, I would admit, I would probably do that. If that was...
Yeah, so would I.
Well, I would do that. If I was to go into like a venue and view it and think like, oh, I can kind of picture it, but I'm not too sure as it's not as decked out as I, want it to. So you have decorators come in and decorate your venue. There'd be like draping and like flowers, but you don't quite know how to envision it. AI is great for that. Take a picture of the venue and tell it to, add like sage green drapes at the front, or like add a few tables, add these flowers. I think that's such a good way of envisioning it, because I think that's a great way of doing it. I would definitely use it for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, I was really impressed actually. I said, do you mind sending me a picture of what you did? And she did, and it was pretty convincing. Yeah, it was pretty convincing. It was good. So thank you to that person. I'm so sorry I've forgotten your name, but if you're listening, thank you. That was super helpful.
I just think it helps give structure to an idea, doesn't it? When you use an AI.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's good.
The reason that we wanted to talk about AI today is because me and Cam, maybe mainly just me, but maybe Cam as well.
Probably me.
I just wanted to get off my chest why I don't want to look at an AI hair inspiration photo. And this is something that I see more and more and more and more. And if you if you put anything into Pinterest to search for something, the amount of AI images now is just wild.
It's ridiculous.
Are you seeing a lot of it as well, Cam? Are you seeing a lot of it?
Yeah. There is one particular photo from like Pinterest, which a lot of people know. If you're a hair or makeup artist, you will know exactly the picture that I'm on about. And I'm trying to get it up now, so you can probably can we like pop it up on the screen or anything like this? So yeah, if you're watching, here is the picture, wherever it is, if it's popping up above me. That is the main picture that I get like shown quite a lot for bridal makeup. And again, it can be quite convincing. However, usually these AI generated like bridal inspired makeup images, they end up looking like, I don't know, characters from Frozen. Like, you do. Do you know what I mean? Like they've got like really big white eyes.
I do.
It just looks flawless, but it looks too flawless to become real. And I do. The thing is,
it does.
I get where people are coming from. Like I do understand. They're like, well, this is the idea of it, of what I want. These are the colour tones that I want. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand that to an extent. However, it's not a real person. And, you know, some people's expectations think that you can turn them into that. I'm sorry, that's just not always achievable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
know.
I've got a little story about that. I was speaking to a makeup artist that I've worked with for many years, really experienced. I mean, she's been doing makeup probably for getting on for 25 years now.
Yeah.
And she was telling me that she had a client cancel her services because she couldn't make her look like the AI image that she had presented her with.
No.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. I know. The expectations are wild. So this is why I just want to explain to people the reasons that we don't want to see AI generated hair and makeup images. And I think it's probably become obvious from our conversation why we don't like them is because they present a totally unrealistic expectation that we are never going to be able to recreate.
No.
So makeup, I think, is probably a bit more problematic than hair, I imagine.
Yeah.
But hair is also an issue because it looks too flawless, and there are no flyaways, and there, you know, because hair is going to have some flyaways.
Yes.
So we'll talk about more reasons about like why we don't want them and what to do instead in a moment. But I actually did a quick bit of research on how to spot an AI image. And what I would say to those people, if you suspect you have an AI image, what I would like you to do is I would like you to delete it.
Yeah.
Delete it from your mood board. Your makeup artist and your hairstylist, we don't want to look at them because they are not good for you and they're not good for me. How do you think people would, how would people spot an AI image?
Okay, so if it looks too good to be true, then it usually is. If they have no pores, especially as well, you know, where the light is just way too perfect. And this might seem a little bit of like reverse engineering, but you could actually save that image and put it into AI and say, is this AI? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, and it will tell you. So if you are unsure before going to your hair and makeup artist, you could, if you're going to use ChatGPT for something, use it for that and be like, you know, before I go and, you know, upset my hair or makeup artist, like, you know, can you tell me, is this real or not? Because some people just, they don't know. My mum is 65 years old. She hasn't got a clue about like if they're like real or not. She'll show me and she'll show me like a video of a load of cats like running through a street. She's like, look how many cats there are. I'm like, Mum, that's AI. She's like, oh, is it? I didn't know.
It's not real.
No, but sometimes you just don't know. So yeah, that's a way of reverse engineering.
Yeah, older clients show me more AI images than younger clients do generally, but not always, not always. So yeah, that's one of the things. It's too good to be true. The lighting's too good. The background's sometimes blurry.
Yeah.
You don't get this so much anymore, but in the earlier days of AI, a couple of years ago, if you looked carefully, sometimes there'd be like 5 fingers or 3 fingers, or there'd be like, really strange things going on. And you're like, what's going on there? You don't see that so much anymore because AI has like got cleverer very quickly.
It's evolved.
And then, if it just looks too good to be true, or if it looks like really unrealistic in that it looks like it's too weird. So, sorry, I'm talking rubbish here. But what I mean by that is the example they used on the article is they had this picture of Ariana Grande and she was in front of this lake with all of these flamingos and behind the lake were skyscrapers. And I was like, this is not, do you know what I mean? It was like, this can't be real. This is insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at something, you're like, oh, wow, look at that question.
Yeah.
Is it real? Is this real?
Exactly. Can I say what they should do instead?
Yes. Tell people what they should do instead.
Okay, so if you have booked a specific hair or makeup artist, you will usually book them because you have seen their work prior to booking them. And especially if they're experienced, like myself and Amy, we have probably got like hundreds, probably not like if thousands of posts on our Instagram. Like, we are
Yep.
chronically online posting our work, and have a look through there. It's our portfolio. So, if there's a lot of my makeup does look quite similar, I will say, but I do change it up every now and then. So if you think, oh, Cam will do this, I might not, but this is my style on my Instagram. Like, so probably stick to that.
Yeah.
Because I probably won't do something too wacky anymore. I used to back in the day, but I'm just not that. I'm not that makeup artist anymore. And that's also our name on the line as well. We don't also want to stamp our name on something that we don't really want to, which is too out there. I love like people being different and everything, but it still needs to fit within our ethics and within our style as well.
Your range of and your signature style. Yeah.
And that's the reason why a lot of brides book us, because they like our style. Mine is very like soft glam. Mine's in between. I'm not too natural. I'm not too glam. I'm in the middle. So maybe book me for that. There's plenty of other people that you can book. I'm not going to take it to heart if you don't book me just because I don't offer, a very, very wacky makeup. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, so
it does. Yeah. I agree. I agree, Cam. That does actually lead us on really nicely to that, because when you're looking for your hair and makeup artist, if you're looking for, that mid glam, that mid kind of like, as you were saying, your style, and they come across you, then you ultimately are the makeup artist. But if they are looking for somebody that's got that barely there, like, no makeup, you're not the artist for that. So when you're looking at images, the most helpful thing you can do for yourself is to look through the artist's work, because you need to be sure that they do something that you're looking for.
We need to align with each other, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So.
But just one last point that I wanted to make about the too good to be true thing.
Yeah.
Is that I don't want to be too serious about this, but I did put this up on my TikTok and then took it down again. I don't know why I felt embarrassed about it, but I was just talking about how when we're looking at all of these images that are too perfect, we are kind of reliving those early days of airbrushing where people don't necessarily they didn't at the beginning. So when I grew up, airbrushing was a thing, but I didn't know airbrushing was a thing. I just thought those people looked perfect and I was a hideous monster. Do you know what I mean? And so we are setting ourselves up to believe that what we're seeing is normal and natural when it absolutely is not. It is the opposite of that. And I think it's very bad for our mental health and for our self-worth and our image when we are constantly looking at those photos. And I would advise anyone now who's got their hair and makeup mood board on Pinterest or Instagram or whatever to go through, ask yourself, where are they from? If it's from Pinterest, has it come from an artist's page? If it looks like AI, just delete it. Yeah. Just delete it. Because you can't tell me that you can't find a photograph of a half up that a hairstylist has done, that a real hairstylist has done. You can't tell me you can't find that. 100%. That you need AI to produce that for you. That's insane.
Yeah, honestly, like, this was really funny as well. Like, one of my bridal parties I had like a couple of months ago, and we were talking about AI as like the bridal party all together, and we were saying like, I think the bridal party was actually asking me about it, and I said like, yeah, I do get people like, show me AI pictures and everything, like, and I was, going off on a tangent about it. And then one of the bridesmaids, Buster, who wasn't in the room, came in, sat down, and I was like, what sort of thing would you like? And she showed me a picture of an AI model, and I just laughed. And I was like, oh my God, I thought she'd done it as a joke, but she was serious. But she just weren't in the room with the conversation.
Oh, no.
Like, she was like, yeah, this is what I want. I was like, that's AI. And she was like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So some people are aware that it is AI and, and still show
but they don't see what the problem is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just that education, just like, educating people of like, what are the wrongs and rights about it, and that is fine,
Yeah.
but we just need to let people.
I'm not going to fire a client that sends me AI. And I just want
Nice.
anybody listening, if you are a client of mine, if you've shown me an AI image, don't start going, oh no, I've upset Amy, I've upset her, I've showed her an AI image. You're not, but I just want to, once you're aware, you're aware. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that, and that's that.
Yeah, I think it's more of like an inside sort of joke, or like an inside topic of like, the hair and beauty industry. People who aren't necessarily in our industry probably won't get it, but people who are like makeup artists or hairstylists within our industry listening to this, they're probably thinking, oh my God, I relate to that so much.
We are now at that point in the podcast where it is time to bury a sausage. Are you ready, Cam?
I am ready.
Okay, so today is going to be a little tiny bit different. I have chosen the person who I want to bury a sausage for because I know them. And today's recipients, if that is the right word, of the sausage, hashtag not a euphemism, are Sarah and Jay, who are getting married on the 2nd of September. I will be doing her hair. And, Cam, before we go any further with this ritual, in the first episode, we buried a sausage for Faye and Lewis.
Yeah.
Do you want to know if it rained or not on their wedding day?
Oh my God, did it rain?
It did.
Oh no! Oh no!
So I know. And the thing is, we're in this drought. So as we're recording this, we're currently in a drought. There is a wildfire currently raging in Dunwich, really, really kind of reasonably near to where I am ish. I mean, next county over. We're in a drought. And can you believe it actually, just before she left, there was a tiny bit of rain. Can you believe it?
I mean, we do need to stop burying sausages at some point because we are in a bit of a drought.
Yeah. So because of that reason, I was inspired by somebody called Jem who messaged me via Instagram when we were talking about this. And you know how we've been sprinkling the bay leaves into the cauldron?
Yes.
Well, she was saying that one of her friends is a little bit of a witch, and her friend had basically written a little spell on a bay leaf and then burnt it. And I was like, oh, that's so, so beautiful. So what I have done is I have written something you might not be able to see. You probably won't be able to see on here on this bay leaf for Sarah and Jay. Congratulations to you both. And I'm going to put this into the cauldron symbolically. But later on, I've got a little dish and I will burn this for you as well. So you will get double the value.
Love that.
So I sprang Sarah and Jay's names on Cam only about an hour ago. So he is going to freestyle for you as well. And Cam's freestyling is something else. I'm very excited for this. So Cam, let us don our cloaks and get ready to bury the sausage.
Okay. Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. So anybody who's watching today, I have got headphones in, and if you're like, why has she got headphones in? Well, we had big technical problems today. I don't really know what it was all about, but it means I've had to revert back to my old way of recording.
Oh, which?
But it's not interrupting with the donning of the cape, and I was concerned it might do, but it's not. Hooray.
I just feel like I'm part of a coven when I'm in this.
I adore, oh, hang on, I can't see. Oh my goodness. I adore putting this on. I feel mysterious. Look at my little star on my moon
So
earrings
good.
here. By Lou Clark. Shout out to Lou Clark. Yeah, okay, so let us begin the sausage burying ritual. Cam, please say some words.
Okay. Here's to Sarah. Here's to Jay. Your big day's nearly on its way. The weather app says rain all day, then changes its mind by midday. So raise glass.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Don't stress a thing. soon you'll hear the church bells ring.
Oh, I mean, they're getting married in a registry office, but that is beautiful. That is absolutely stunning.
Thanks.
Okay, let us bury the sausage. Here I have the cauldron planter. Here it is. Behold, behold the felt sausage of joy, the felt sausage of good weather. In it goes into the cauldron to be symbolically buried.
Yes.
And also, into the cauldron goes the spell on a bay leaf for Sarah and Jay. In it goes.
Well done. Congratulations
there we go.
to Sarah and Jay.
Sausage has been buried. Yeah, congratulations, guys. I am going to just take this down now because I'm boiling.
It's so hot.
And I will be able to report back in 4 weeks' time whether or not I was successful or we were successful with the spell.
Oh, I hope so. Oh, well, it's been so much
Cam,
fun,
that was
Amy.
so much fun.
Yeah, it's been great.
I know, it's been so great. After the stressful beginnings of the technical problems, we've ended on a high.
I know. Well, can I add one more thing?
Of course, go for it.
I wanted to, since it's an AI episode, I wanted to see if AI would actually create us a new ritual.
Okay.
A bit like burying the sausage, Etsy Witch. I think it'd be really cool if, like, you know, we got AI to create a new ritual. So I've got my ChatGPT up on my iPad right here. So I'm going to ask it a little something. Create a new wedding day ritual, like burying a sausage or the Etsy Witch, and we'll see what it says.
For good weather. Do you want to put in there for good weather?
Oh yeah. Okay, it's loading. It's thinking. Let it cook. Let the sausages cook. Okay. Come on. No, this is not what I asked for.
What's it saying?
No, this is not what I wanted. Hang on. Oh.
What is it doing?
I don't know. Oh god, I think it messed up. Sorry guys. See, AI's not that great, is it really?
We have just proven that AI has its place, but it does not have its place in creating a ritual, a personal ritual for your wedding day.
Right.
Maybe we need to rethink the wording and come back next week and let people know what it came up with.
Bear with. I think it'll work. It'll work. Okay. If you're looking for something quirky, tongue-in-cheek energy as burying the sausage, there's a new one called Hide the Horseshoe. The couple secretly hides a tiny horseshoe somewhere at the venue before guests arrive. Whoever accidentally finds it is supposedly next to get engaged.
Ooh,
but don't necessarily
that's
have to
fun.
do the weather. It can just be for good luck, and you know.
Yeah.
It's come up with like loads. I won't read them all, but like another one is feed the fox. Leave a wrapped chocolate fox or fox-shaped biscuit in the garden the night before the wedding. Legend says the wedding fox will trade it for good luck and keep the rain away.
The wedding fox.
I'm guessing this is an actual thing.
Oh, I want to be visited by the wedding fox.
Yeah, same.
That's fun.
Like the pocket pebbles. Each partner carries a smooth pebble in their pocket all morning before the ceremony. They swap them around without looking. It's said to help them carry each other's worries. Oh, that's really cute.
Oh, that's cute. I really like that.
It's got loads. But yeah, so there's actually more wedding rituals than you think.
Okay, well, we're going to say goodbye now. We hope everybody survives these heat waves that we are having, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye everyone.